Today is the second day of the week, the 10th of July. So let's get this conversation shifted from the entire macroeconomic big headline stories of Afrexim and AFDB into the world of anti-corruption. The Buhari's administration is chasing the big rats all around using every legal means. And the last was the executive order to seize assets suspected to have been made out of corruption. That was Executive Order number 6, and that was last week. Now, Onyinye O is here. She is the Executive Director at Set Up Nigeria, and she thinks that we should have something else to bring to the table. Onyinye, it's good to have you.
Yeah, thank you, Bosan.
Thank you. When we spoke briefly about this, and my ears were tickled about, yes, we're chasing the multi-billion naira, multi-million dollar suspected corrupt people, some in detention, some in jail, or some cases concluded, what have you. But you thought, you think that we should take this to the grassroots.
Yes.
How the bottom of the pyramid do you think you want us to see this go?
So I think we should actually start with children, and which is why I've written the book, A Maker's Money. And before I go into the book, A Maker's Money, I want to talk more about why I think children should be, why I thought that children should be educated on corruption. If you look at the drivers of corruption, what really drives corruption, one of the key drivers is the social norms. I feel personally that corruption has become culturally acceptable. It's almost like we don't know the difference between a corrupt behavior and a normal behavior. And there's a lot of, it's a turn-to-it syndrome. So you have someone comes into power, the pressures from society, pressures from relations, friends, oh, give me job or give me contract. That's really one of the drivers.
When you say the social norms, it's just you just packed into a restaurant and the security guard they say, Madam, how is your week so far? Anything for your boys?
Exactly. Yes, it's things like that.
It's a social norm these days.
Exactly.
It
yes,
doesn't
it's
sound
normal.
offensive
exactly.
anymore to almost everyone on the street.
Exactly. Even if for someone doing his job, the security guard is supposed to be, but there's always this thing of, but more importantly, what I was actually focusing on or trying to focus on the book was the fact that some of these actions actually seem as nice. So the security guard you talked about now, you give him, oh, they say, Bosan is very nice. Oh, that's really kind. I come into government, I'm made a DG tomorrow or something, and then of course, there's pressure from, family, friends, whoever, give me job or contract. And then, if I don't help them, I'm seen as a bad person. And when I help them, of course, I'm praised and tolerated. And I thought that, I think it's high time we start to really think that some of these nice actions, in quotes, could actually be harming others in society.
Nice action. Yeah. Nice actions. That's how you capture it.
Yes.
Yeah, because you go into the village at the end of the year and you have some things for...
Yes.
The boys on the road, on the highway.
Not just that, not just not that aspect. I'm looking more like, yes, exactly, things like that. But things even around like, like I said, give award of contracts or that's actually my focus, things that actually quite detrimental to the growth of society. So I give an example in the book, A Maker's Money. One of the things we tried to do was show different aspects of corruption and how it affects the growth of society. Most times we say corruption is bad, corruption is, but we don't necessarily try to show the direct link between corruption and how it harms people.
Give me one instance.
So, for example, do you want an instance from the book or just...
Yeah, from the book.
Yeah,
I would like that this time. Yes, that would be a good one.
Okay, so from the book we show, Emeka works for the governor, and he has a cousin of his that once, looking for a job. He said, okay, don't worry, I'll speak to the governor, because Emeka is like some kind of special advice or whatever to the governor. Speaks to the governor. Governor says, okay, we can give him a contract to build roads, but he has to give me some kickbacks. So, of course, he pays, literally, like, a large chunk of the money goes to the governor even before the road gets built, and we see that leading to substandard roads being built. And, of course, people have accidents and things like that. So, you're just trying to teach children and teach society even generally around the fact that we need to take, helping Uche, who didn't have a job or was looking for some business deals, has made Uche happy, but led to, number of people having accidents, led to us having bad roads. And so people trying to see that link, I don't think enough of it is being done. So which is what we're, and also trying to build that value system, you know, building a society of integrity. And so,
do you think kickbacks or 10% regime, whatever it is not entirely new here? It's been around for decades. You think going to the bottom in terms of teaching children, what ages are you looking at here?
6 to 10. So ages 6 to 10, and we try to use very simple language.
Why do you think 6 to 10 is the ideal time?
Because
to build a firewall around them.
Because we want to start shaping minds young. At that age, they ask questions. I have a 6-year-old son who would like to follow direction. Anything he's, you know, we tell him or his teachers tell him in school, he's like, comes back home and like, oh, my teacher said I shouldn't watch this channel because it's for, so he's really, you know, so I'm looking at him, you know, it kind of motivates me and it inspires me to think that actually, if we start to teach children at this age and the values are formed, then it means that by the time they go into secondary school, they already, you know, have formed that culture of being people of integrity, that actually you can be rewarded as a person of integrity. Right now, I mean, do you think, I mean, there's no really reward for being a person of integrity. I don't see, do you get what I mean? Like, it's not really obvious. It's more, Bosan is doing well, he's driving this nice car.
It doesn't make the headline.
He doesn't, no, he doesn't. It's like, are you the only one? You know, it's like, you know, do you get that kind of thing? So it's like trying to just create that culture that actually pays to be a person of integrity, pays to be someone that could actually help society, that, you know, it's not just about us, but of those poor people who have no voice. So 6 to 10, you're looking at this taking off in schools, or you think charity should begin at home? I think both schools at home and home. I'm looking to, you mean for the book, right? Yes. Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking at... In terms of how do you want this to penetrate? I think both home and school, actually. We're looking at schools, you know, we'll be looking at schools at some point when doing the launch in September to spread it, you know, to as much schools as possible that will be interested. Because I feel schools, they're too, and home as well, depending on how people, I don't know, you know, the reading culture, you know, is not that great here, but I think if we combine it with both school, you know, and home, like with parents, you know, reading, I don't know if you read to your, you know, children before going to bed at night or whatever. So it's those kind of things you can read to them at bed, you know, to bed at night. In schools, if you can become one of the, you know, like literature books or whatever that, you know, that school teachers can use to, so that's what I'm looking at. So it can be used both at home and in school. Do you think this perhaps should extend below the age of 6, for example? We're talking about kids these days who ask questions even before they are 6. Yeah, the reason why I said, well, the reason why we thought 6 is that I'm not too sure how many, you know, 6-year-olds can read. I mean, but then if parents want to read to them, that's fine. But I was also thinking of children who have, you know, who are beginning to read. It's going to be interesting. I'm just imagining that you talk about reading to kids before they go to bed. If I'm a corrupt government official and I have young kids that's going to bed, will I take an anti-corruption book? Well, they may not immediately think, because the book is called Emeka's Money. And read to them and said, well, I just took a great government kickback. So you're asking me to read that book to my 2 little boys going to bed. It's going to be much difficult, like opening my own conscience. Well. So you're hitting the conscience here. Just a hypothetical situation, which may just happen here because you're going to put these books, the book, in the hands of kids. So you're going to take it home. Yes. And, well, say, Mom, Dad, can you read to me here? I say, oh, my God, Liz speaking to me. Exactly. Exactly. That's what. And we start to build the psyche. I see. So you're going to try to use the kids on the parents. Yes. It's a backdoor approach. One way, yes, of doing that. Very smart. But again, do you think we should still expend so much energy chasing the big boys who are corrupt? I think so, actually. Like, tackling corruption is a holistic approach. It's not a one, you know, either or situation. It's holistic, which is why I think that the part about educating, you know, people on corruption there's been a missing gap there. I think we do a lot of shouting around corruption is bad, you know, prosecute. The convictions are good, don't get me wrong. But I think we need the whole strategy towards tackling corruption. And in a manner of speaking, this is one strategy you think could work. I think if we start early, it could work. I did some work in Zambia last year, with some of the anti-corruption commission, you know, with their key anti-corruption commission, and I was amazed that the Ministry of Education had actually produced some books. They even had it in the curriculum, which I found quite interesting. So that also was one of the things that inspired me as well, that I thought we could do something similar.
In Zambia, Southern Africa.
Sorry?
Yeah, in Zambia?
Yes.
In Southern Africa?
Yes, yeah.
Interesting. So they already have it in the curriculum?
No, they had, yeah, they were there. So what I don't know is how, because it was still early. You know, it takes a bit of educating, when it comes to social norms and educating around, you know, education around corruption, we can't expect the magic to happen overnight. But what we're trying to do, like we said in our earlier discussion, is that let's start now to shape the future. Let's start now to start building that society of integrity. Let's start now to have the conversation. And I remember friends of mine, I mean, who were born in the 70s, or even I was having a chat, and he told me that in the 70s, if an uncle, comes and who is corrupt or something, gives them, you know, like a gift or something, their parents want them, don't take from that uncle. Better don't take, you know, his money is not clean. But now, you know, Nigeria has, I mean, I can't even...
But these days it looks like it's the parents that are bringing the wrong things home.
Exactly.
Not the kids bringing the wrong things home.
Yeah.
The whole thing is lopsided.
Exactly.
So we have to go back this way again.
Exactly.
And start using the kids to train the parents, while in the 60s or 70s it was the other way around.
Exactly.
The world is always moving. Thank you very much, Onyinye. Oh,
thank you.
And we wish you all the best in this new approach to tackle anti-corruption, the executive director at Set Up Nigeria.